How will the debris from the Baltimore Key Bridge be cleared? It's a question that has been echoing since the tragic collapse of this vital structure. The moment that the Francis Scott Key Bridge fell into the waters of Baltimore was a moment that took the breath away from millions. The aftermath was even more devastating, with 6 brave workers losing their lives in the collapse. Efforts to recover those lost are ongoing, a grim reminder of the human cost of this catastrophe. In the midst of the wreckage, the cargo ship Dali remains stationary, its crew still aboard, a stark testament to the scale of the disaster. The eyes of the nation, and indeed the world, are now on Baltimore as we await a visit from President Biden. Meanwhile, the legal wheels are beginning to turn, with proceedings underway to determine who is liable for this disaster. As the dust settles and the reality of the situation sinks in, the question on everyone's lips is not just who, but how. As legal proceedings take shape to determine liability, the question remains, when and how will the debris be cleared? The collapse of the Key Bridge has far-reaching consequences, with the Port of Baltimore, one of the busiest in the U.S., now closed to vessel traffic. This closure has disrupted the local economy, affecting thousands of jobs and businesses. The port is a lifeline for the city, handling $80.8 billion worth of foreign cargo in 2023 alone, and boasting the highest passage of cars and light trucks in the country. With the port's closure, local businesses are feeling the pinch, and the ripple effects are being felt across the city. To mitigate some of these impacts, the Small Business Administration is stepping in to offer assistance to those affected. Moreover, in the halls of Congress, discussions are ongoing about potential aid packages to bolster Baltimore's economy during this crisis. While the city grapples with the economic fallout, efforts to clear the bridge debris and reopen the port are underway. The task of clearing the debris from the collapsed bridge is a complex one, involving multiple stages and teams. Indeed, the magnitude of this operation is immense. Picture this. We have the Navy deploying heavy lifting equipment, think cranes, barges, and the like, to haul debris from the water. It's an intricate dance of machinery and manpower, working in unison to clear the waterways. And it's not just about removing the debris, it's also about ensuring the safety of the workers and the integrity of the surrounding structures. On land, we have demolition crews who are instrumental in this cleanup operation. Armed with their tools, they cut and remove sections of the collapsed bridge. It's a precise and delicate process, a balance between speed and safety. Every piece of steel, every chunk of concrete must be accounted for and properly disposed of. But the cleanup operation isn't confined to the land and water immediately surrounding the collapsed bridge. A temporary channel has been opened for cleanup vessels. This allows for a smoother flow of operations, easing the congestion caused by the bridge's collapse and facilitating the movement of debris. As you can see, this isn't a task for the faint-hearted. It's a mammoth undertaking that requires meticulous planning, expert execution, and relentless dedication from all those involved. And while the task is daunting, the teams are up to the challenge. With the cleanup operation in full swing, the focus now shifts to the plans for rebuilding the bridge and reopening the port. The future of the Key Bridge, and indeed the Port of Baltimore, hangs in the balance as plans for rebuilding are considered. The collapse of this vital artery has left a wound in the city's heart, but efforts are underway to heal, recover, and rebuild. The estimated costs of reconstruction are staggering, exceeding $1 billion. Yet, the federal support pledged by President Biden shows the nation's commitment to restoring this critical infrastructure. A temporary shipping route has been a beacon of hope amidst this crisis. This lifeline, opened for commercially essential vessels, is helping to mitigate the economic impact, keeping the wheels of commerce turning. Yet the cargo ship Dali, the unfortunate protagonist of this tragedy, remains lodged at the incident site, a stark reminder of the incident. The process to remove the ship and clear the debris is a complex one, as noted by Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg. It's a carefully coordinated ballet involving heavy lifting equipment and demolition crews, working tirelessly to cut and remove sections of the collapsed bridge. Each piece of steel and concrete removed brings us one step closer to a restored Key Bridge. While the timeline to reopen the Port of Baltimore remains unclear, the city's resilience and determination are evident in the face of this disaster. Baltimore is a city of survivors, a city that knows how to take a hit and bounce back. As we look to the future, we are reminded of the city's spirit, unbroken, unbowed, and unyielding.